We are here in Arizona. I think it's Arizona, or is it Nevada?
We're in Arizona.
Kingman, Arizona. At the truck wash. And I have asked Mr. Kennedy if he will give us, and with Robin's help, she's going to play the role of the sister Lauren, and to show us what happened on the night of the plane crash, because I must say I didn't believe it when I first read it in his book. For one thing, I thought a plane underwater, you could have no hope of opening the door against the pressure. So I'll ask him to explain that, and I'll also ask him as to how quickly he thought about what he should be doing. Apparently, he's no slouch. Okay, here we go. Mr. Kennedy, please sit on the edge there like you are doing and pretend you are in the seat of a helicopter. Now, where would your shoulders be?
It was actually an airplane.
Oh, a plane. So you're in the back seat.
Yeah, and it was really tight quarters, just like we are now. And John was the pilot to my left, and his wife to the right.
Yep.
And it was really tight quarters, so the seats were right at our knees, like
Okay.
economy flight. But it was really tight quarters.
Yeah.
When John announced that he could not steer the plane, we were in a left-hand turn. The minute he said that, his wife started arguing with him. He started arguing with her. They were swearing at each other, just like a man and woman fighting.
Yeah.
It got worse. It didn't stop. I had told John, I said, if you can't steer the plane, just reduce your speed, and we'll just keep going in a circle until we slow down and crash. They were too busy arguing to hear what I said. I reached down at my feet. I grabbed the life preserver. I put it over my head. I put my arms in the position over the preserver in front of my body.
Okay.
As a cushion.
Okay.
I put my shoulder and head down behind the seat. And I don't know if I instructed
Lauren.
her to do the same. Maybe she followed my instructions. But I was already in the position to crash before we crashed.
So what you're saying now occurred before the water was reached by the plane. Okay.
Yes. When we hit, it was like hitting a brick wall, like a head-on collision. We hit hard.
Oh.
I probably dislocated my shoulder into the back of the seat.
Was there any blood?
I do not know. I was concerned about that when I was in the water, because sharks are very intelligent. It only takes a drop and they will track you down. So it was a big concern. The door was in the forward position, but like you said, we were already on top of the water. We had not gotten under the water. As soon as we hit, I was opening the door for the door to open. I grabbed her probably by the arm and drug her away. And
was there a question of seat belts? Were you using seat belts during the flight?
I was not.
Okay.
I was in the position with no seat belt, already bracing myself, and I had the life preserver as a cushion in between me and the seat.
Okay.
Once we got out, like I said, about the same distance as that van there, 20 feet or so. And the plane was like this, and we were to the right of the aircraft, and it was nose-dived into the water. And she was struggling with me, so we were at the right of the plane. She was screaming. She had to go check on her sister, and she was struggling with me. I let her go at that time, and as soon as she reached the plane disappeared.
And you said that
I never saw the three again.
Okay. Now, at that point, was it nighttime? Had darkness totally fallen?
Yes, it was nighttime. There was clouds and a mist in the air and the waves. were as tall as that white car right there. Once a wave hit, I would float up, and I was in this position the whole time, holding the life preserver against my body. When I would get to the top, I would turn my head. I think I had messed up my neck and my shoulder, but it was really hard for me to move my neck, but I would look for lights in the distance. And I thought I had seen a light way off in the distance. Once I got to a top, and I just started paddling, and the shark concern was really concerning.
And wouldn't you mainly freeze? Was it frozen?
It was really cold, and I did go into shock. And my guess is I was conscious for 20 minutes or a half hour. I wasn't conscious long. I was trying to get to shore, but after that time, all I remember is being hoisted on the front end of a ship, the bow, and covered with blankets.
And you probably were carrying a GPS, even though that's 25 years ago, you probably were traceable.
I probably, as the son of our president, had one at that time at
Yeah.
a very, very young age.
Yeah, okay. And now, at the moment of a ship coming for you, did they know who they were looking for?
I was so out of it. All I remember is being covered with blankets and what I believe was the captain of the ship walking in front of me, pacing in front of me. And I was in shock. They just kept covering blankets on me, and that's all I remember.
Okay.
That was it.
Okay. Well, thank you for the description. Now, that night, before that happened, you were waiting on another island or back on the mainland or to get on the plane. Where were you?
I was actually at a truck stop.
Okay.
And a Secret Service agent picked me up along with John. And I didn't want to go. They were like, come on, you'll have fun. We're going to a wedding. I was like, I really don't want to go. And they persisted, and I just was like, what the hell? I got to figure out what this is all about. Thinking they were planning on killing me, which come to find out they were at that wedding.
But you were kind of an incidental death to the other deaths, were you?
I believe that they wanted all of us to die that day and
Okay.
cover up the whole story.
Yeah, yeah.
His story, my story,
Yeah.
all of it at once.
Yeah. And you think Lauren really is the sister of Carolyn Bessette? They don't look at all alike, but then I don't look like my
I
sister.
really couldn't answer
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I don't.
Okay, okay. All right. Thank you very much. I'm going to end that little interview right now in the truck stop of Kingman,
Kingman,
Arizona.